Last time on Final Fantasy IV, we arrived on the moon, traveled through some tunnels, and met Fusoya, a Lunarian who is native to the moon, and as it turns out, Cecil's actually half Lunarian. And now we have to drag Fusoya along, and we're supposed to go back to the planet, but we're not going to do that just yet, because we have to explore the lair of the Father. And again, I'm still cringing over the fact that I gave Fusoya the Darkness command, because it's a useful augment. It's actually really good. But definitely not for Fusoya. Oh, Genji gloves. This is pretty good armor. This is going to go to Edge, because I guess he needs it the most, being in the front row. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering why I had Edge in the front row last time, it was pretty much just to get him used to that spot, because now Fusoya's in the party, and for God's sake, you do not want him in the front. Okay, this is a potentially dangerous party. So, Moon Maidens are pretty tough. They're very powerful. 6,800 HP, 51 strength, 91 defense. But they're not the really difficult enemies here, because other than attacking, they really can't do much. The Dark Sage is who we have to worry about. 8,670 HP, 54 strength, 95 defense, and they have all 3 August spells. They are very powerful. Now, this is the first formation here, and this one isn't so tough, especially since these guys are weak to being toaded or stopped. I don't know if you can turn Moon Maiden into a toad, but you can stop them, which you probably want to do just because, again, they're very fast and tough, but you want the Dark Sages out of the way as soon as possible. You can get a much worse formation of 3 Dark Sages. 3 Dark Sages means you are more than likely going to die here, because Dark Sages are also very fast, and they are unrelenting. So basically, if you get ambushed in Lair of the Father, chances are you're going to die. If you get ambushed by Dark Sages, just reset the game. You are not going to survive the onslaught of August spells you're about to be hit by. So with that done, I guess I can describe Fusoya as a character. That Bless command he has is pretty useful. It's not quite like Prey, in that it's a long-lasting effect. Over time, you'll receive small bits of MP, so basically it's just a long-lasting MP regeneration. Prey will give you back more MP at a time, so if you're running low, Prey is the better option, but if you remember to set down Bless at the start of a battle, you should be able to get at least a little bit of MP back, especially if you're not burning up too much at a time. Genji's shield is useless to Edge, since he doesn't use shields. And I think Cecil's Aegis shield is better, right? I'd prefer to... It's only 2, but I think I'd prefer to keep the magic defense, because that's going to help me survive in this dungeon. I forget if I actually show off any Dark Sage battles when they come in 3s. I think I do. Oh yes, I do, because I definitely want an example of how badly these guys can fuck you up. So, you want to turn them into toads as soon as possible if you live. And so far I'm living. Bye, Cecil. Oh, he managed to survive. Good going. Alright, I also do kind of want Fusoya to die at some point. I don't like him that much in general, but he has probably the best death animation in the game. Oh, that's just great. Cecil's dead. Fantastic. Okay, one more toad and we should be good. Hopefully. Please. Oh, fuck. Well, hopefully this works, because, Rydia's down now. Come on, Fusoya, don't fail me now. I honestly don't have much faith in you, but good luck anyway. Good job, Toad. Good job. And that takes care of that. So yeah, that was me actually managing to keep this encounter under control. which is normally very difficult. But now that we've got them all turned into toads, we're pretty much done here. We've got this in the bag. Because, of course, now they have less defense, and they can only do 1 damage to us anyway, so they are finished. I should, however, heal now, because otherwise I'll get my ass kicked by the next encounter. Oh yeah, and the other thing is, of course, Fusoya is super slow, because he doesn't have fast talker on. And even then, he seems slower than Rosa. That might just be me, but Fusoya does kind of suck, and his spirit isn't as high as Rosa's, so he doesn't heal as much. I really should have double Kira'd there, because pretty much at this point I'm stuck waiting around to kill these guys, because I don't want to kill them too early. The other so I think the one advantage to Fusoya is pretty much that since he has all the spells, he does have Meteor, and he can actually use it, unlike Tella, because while he doesn't have much MP, he still has more than 90, so he can use Meteor, and he won't die horribly from it, even though he's probably older than Tella. But you know what? He is a Moon Man, and therefore he can live for 1,000,000 billion years, and he can never die ever. Now, I am kind of wondering if Fusoya gets knocked out at any point. I know in a later part he will definitely be KO'd, but I don't know if I want to give it away now or wait, but again, he does have the best death animation. He also doesn't really gain much experience at a time. I can't wait to see Fusoya's level up. I just can't wait to see how much his stats go up at a time. It's going to be pretty great. We're going to check out what kind of growths he gets, because as a Lunarian, they must be pretty good, right? That's basement 1. Ooh, and we got a golden apple. By the way, off-screen I did feed those to Rosa and Rydia, as well as the Soma drops, because I needed them. My first attempt into Lair of the Father did not end well at all. In fact, I would say it was pretty disastrous, all things considered. Now, there are a couple more enemies here. This is probably one of them. Okay, so, these guys are actually pretty easy. These are Bone Dragons, 2400 HP, 60 Strength, 128 Defense. They are also undead enemies, meaning you can burn them or shed some light on them. You can also stop them. And now he is going to be completely helpless for the rest of the fight. So, yeah, we already have this battle in the bag. And because Bone Dragons will only appear one at a time, there's really nothing he can do. And unlike the Dark Sages... Oh, god damn it, Cecil. Unlike the Dark Sages who can get a hit off, or a pretty powerful hit off on you right at the start of the battle, these guys really don't have a strong enough ability or attack to take anybody out before you do anything. Oh, and since I didn't mention it before, if those guys single target you, there's a pretty good chance you're going down. Cecil survived because he has a lot of HP, but if anyone else gets single targeted by a Dark Sage's spells, they are going to hurt a lot. That being said, I want to keep up the praise. God damn it, Cecil, you have his weakness. You are wielding Excalibur right now. So you should kick him in the face, thus using Excalibur, thus exploiting his weakness to light. But no, you have to keep missing your kick. I suppose that is the main problem with kick, which I never really knew before this playthrough. Because, you know, when Yogg's using it, he's pretty accurate, but Cecil misses a lot. Come on, hit him, hit him! There you go. It was just one hit, but it was good. Alright, so, let's see if Fusoya can finish this battle off. Come on, Fusoya, I believe in you! We've softened him up so much, you should be able to take care of this old man. No, you can't. You still suck. I think his intelligence is better, but nonetheless. Fusoya really isn't that good. And again, I am still cringing so hard that I gave him darkness. Like, I remember why I did that. It's because I completely forgot what the darkness command did, and I thought it was like a blinding augment. But no, that's eye gouge. I just forgot that darkness is the really good ability you have at the start of the game that you can now give back to Cecil or Edge, and they'll do more damage. Now granted, there really isn't anything at this point in the game that's weak to darkness. I certainly can't think of anything off the top of my head. But still, as long as they aren't, strong against it or absorb it, it'll still do more damage than it would a normal attack. And of course, this will temporarily go to... past me, no. That was a bad idea, actually. Do not set Edge's evasion to 0, because his evasion is really good. Oh, crap! Okay, so this must be one of the set points in which you will encounter a behemoth. Behemoths are, of course, a recurring, very powerful normal enemy, to the point where, in this game, they have the boss battle theme. And at this point in the game, behemoths are a force to be reckoned with, especially because Fusoya isn't that good, and he is already dead. He will counter most spells with... gonna blink first. Now he's definitely gonna counter, right? Yep, Maelstrom. This will set everyone's... well, if it hits, then it will set you to low HP. Now anyway, the basic strategy for Behemoth is set up Blink, set up a Protect just in case, set up Haste, and go all out on this guy. Use your strongest attacks. Do be wary of using normal magic on him, because he does counter most magic. Shoot, I forget. Oh, and I haven't gone over his stats, have I? Right, so the reason you want to go all out is because he has 46,000 HP, 63 strength, and 131 defense. He also, of course, counters every physical attack, and again, he counters magic with Maelstrom. He does not, however, counter summons. So we're going to want to use Leviathan on this guy. We're also going to want to get Fusoya blinked as soon as possible, otherwise he will die. Thank goodness. And basically this is the battle, set up to make sure that Behemoth doesn't wipe the floor with you, and then just keep the setup for the rest of the fight. He will take down your blinks, that is definitely going to happen, so be on the ready to set up another blink. Of course, since you do have Fusoya with you, that does mean you can cast twice the white magics you normally would. So again, get your healers hasted so that they can blink at a moment's notice, and yeah, just be ready. Other than that, it's just survive from that point onward. Anyway, so, did you get a good look at Fusoya's death animation? Sadly, I did not look at him the moment he went down, because I probably would have laughed. Because Fusoya, for the entire series, well, I can't say series because he's only in Final Fantasy IV, but in every version of Final Fantasy IV, he just sort of does that thing where he deflates. Like, even in the 3D version, the air is just let out of his being as he crumples to the ground. He does that in earlier versions of the game as well. He just deflates. So, I guess he's... like, my running theory is that Lunarians aren't really people, they're things. For example, Fusoya is not a normal man. He is part man, part beach ball, and whenever he is taken out, he just deflates on the spot. And also his official art, or the mono arts, to be specific, he's not really in humanoid form. He kind of looks like a comet. He actually looks rad as hell in that art, but that's not how he looks here. But anyway, yeah. Lunarians are just, like, household objects or toys, rather. Stuff like that. And I don't know why, they never explain Lunarian biology, and whether or not Lunarians are, like, strictly humanoid, or if they're taking that form and they're, like, secretly energy or something like that. I don't know. It never says. But anyway, I wanted to get that out of the way. I mean, Fusoya dying is inevitable, because he sucks a lot, but I was just wondering if it happened in this part, and it does, so I got to talk about that. Thankfully, being half Lunarian apparently means that you are resistant to that. Cecil is not part beach ball, or whatever he would happen to be. He is, in fact, a normal man. So, anyway, unless I can think of something else, I think I'm gonna skip the rest of this battle, because you get the point by now, right? I'm just using various summons. I don't want to lean too heavily on Leviathan, even though that is my strongest, summon. Just because I should be praying with Rosa, but at the same time, I want her to be ready in case I need to throw up a blink at some point. And as such, that means I'm not really on the ready to be giving everyone more MP, which means if I overuse Leviathan, I could be in a spot of trouble. Oh, and thank goodness for ninjutsu, because that means I can just use Mirage on the spot. That takes care of that. Oh shit, okay, so that's what will happen if Blink goes down and you don't notice. Alright, let's make sure to fix that. God damn, where are your spells? There they are, okay. So, Blink you, and then make sure to heal her. I might also want to throw up a Protect. That's a pretty good measure in case Behemoth does take down your Blink, and either you don't notice, or he takes out your Blink with either a normal attack or a counter, and you're just about to attack him again for some reason. That does generally tend to lead to trouble, because you will get hurt again, and very badly. So yeah, be very wary about your Blink, and just use your powerful stuff. Focus is, of course, very helpful here, because that helps Cecil do a lot of damage, and I appreciate that a lot. Gotta make sure to focus, and yeah, I think from this point onwards I'm going to skip. Again, unless I think of anything else. Oh, thank God he's dead! Okay, so it's been about 7 or so minutes since I left. Thankfully, Behemoths are worth a lot of experience, but that doesn't matter to Fusoya, because he doesn't gain any stats upon level up. Hey. So, yes, Behemoths are tied to a certain space on the map, and there are 3 of them in this dungeon. 3 unavoidable Behemoth encounters. They're not too terribly difficult once you know how to set up for them, but the encounters are very lengthy. This is the last room of Lair of the Father. However, of course, you had to fight 2 more Behemoths in there, starting from that very thin path. See that right there? Alright, so right about here. That was probably the Behemoth encounter. So, by the way, once we're done with this part, my playtime is going to go way up. A, because of the Behemoths, and also B, because I had to go to the DMV in the middle of recording this. And, of course, as I've said before, this has the same problem as Final Fantasy III, or at least the DS-ROM, in that even when inactive, it still counts playtime, because I guess it counts it by the computer clock or something. So, yeah. Oh, the playtime's gonna shoot up by hours. So, these are the gold and silver dragons. I believe they always appear with one another. So, Gold Dragon has 16,400 HP, 59 strength, 126 defense, and he has Constrict as a counter, which of course causes paralysis, and Thunderbolt, which is a very powerful magic type attack. Silver Dragon has 1500 HP, 59 strength, 126 defense, and he has the spell, or kind of spell, Blaze. Enemy spell, enemy attack, whatever you want to call it. So, basically the strategy here is the same for the bone, is the same as the one for the bone dragon, i.e., you want to stop them both. Of course, that's a little more tricky here because there are two of them. If you want my advice, I guess I'd go Gold Dragon first, then Silver Dragon. They're both pretty dangerous, so no matter which one you stop first, if the other one gets an attack off, it's still going to be kind of difficult to take care of them. Thankfully, though, we do have Fusoya here, so we do have a double helping of stop, so even if they do get a little bit of time, and of course, even more time than they'd normally get since Rydia has Fast Talker, Fusoya does not. Oh, and I'm showing off Sylph here. Fence animation! Woo! Raise their arms in the air like you just don't care. Okay, let's go steal their souls! Woo! And yeah, not that much HP back, and it doesn't do that much damage, but it's something. Yeah, usually you get the Sylph spell early, or Sylph summon rather, you usually get that pretty early on, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's not that powerful. So, really, it's more useful early on rather than later. Nonetheless, though, those dragons are stopped, so we have taken care of them to some extent. Make sure to Libra them. I mean, we could use Analyze on them, but, Rose is busy not using Libra, and Fusoya doesn't really have much of a use anyway. Oh, and of course it misses one of them. Why wouldn't it miss? So, basically, I'm trying to think of something else about these dragons, but honestly, I can't say this. They're probably one of my least favorite encounters, not due to difficulty, more so they're boring. They're just really boring. And I mean, they did survive long enough to not be hit by Stop, and to outlast Stop, rather. By the way, yeah, you can inflict sap upon them with Bio. But anyway, that's why you don't want them to be unstopped. But anyway, yeah, they're not particularly difficult, provided you stop them in time. It's just, this encounter's boring. At the moment, I would not prefer to fight lots of behemoths, but at least behemoths are more interesting. These guys are just, you stop them, there's two enemies, so it's hard to keep them stopped. But other than that, there's really not much to them. And of course, Cecil misses one again. Boy, I am really not liking the accuracy on Excalibur. It's making all of my kicks miss. My sword is holding me back from kicking these enemies well enough. Ah, man. These guys do not die quickly either. You wouldn't think they'd survive for that long. I mean, it's only 1500 HP. Unlike the goddamn behemoths, who had HP of, oh shoot, what was it? 4600. Do I want to bring that up now or later? Because there is something about behemoths in the DS version that's different about the behemoths from earlier versions, but it's not relevant now, so I'm gonna wait for later to mention it. Either way, though, from this point on, we should be able to kill these guys, and I really should have hasted, to be honest. Like, these guys do take long enough where haste is a good idea, just to make sure you get plenty of attacks off, so that they don't get unstopped at some point. Damn their magic resistance. Come on, Fusoya, bless this mess. Make sure we get some MP back. I really should have done that earlier, but whatever. At least one's dead now, and the other did get hit by a pretty powerful kick earlier on, so he shouldn't have too much more HP. Of course, given like half my characters are multi-target, it is kinda difficult to see their HP. Also, I was looking at the left side of the screen rather than the right side of the screen, so I completely missed what HP they're actually at. Alright, come on. Unfortunately, I didn't check to see how much HP they had. There we go. Did take a little while just because I didn't want to do anything with Fusoya because he's not good for much anyway, but they are almost out of HP. Which is good because I decided not to skip this battle, because I didn't think it would take as long as Behemoth, but I mean, Behemoth did take an extra 7 minutes plus whatever I started out with in that battle. Oh, god damn it. I really don't need a prayer to be not answered. This is not the time. Oh, or... yeah, actually, no, it is especially not the time because I killed him. Therefore, I did not recover HP and MP there, which sucks. Level 58. Very nice, very nice. 58. And, ooh, Tornado. That's not going to be that useful, probably. And, of course, Fusoya's level means nothing. Though I do have to wonder if Tornado is useful in the DS version. That's something even I haven't tried just yet, but, you know, usually Tornado isn't useful, and since we are coming up on the last dungeons, even for these guys I wouldn't think it would be that good, but I don't know. Again, I haven't tried it. So here's some random kids in the dungeon for some reason. I mean, this is the lair of the father, so I guess this is Dad's house. I don't know who your dad is, but I'm gonna kick his butt, I bet. I mean, after traveling all this way through 3 behemoths, 2 of which were off-screen, I would be willing to bet there's still a boss at the end of this. So, this is indeed Bahamut, the dark god of the Eidolons. So, fun fact, this battle was changed a lot from the original version. Originally, you could reflect his devastating Mega Flare attack. No matter what version you're in, he does have a countdown for it, but, yeah, you could reflect it in the original version, and that would basically wipe the floor with him. You would destroy him with his own power. And the library in previous versions would mention as much. Here, though, the library didn't mention it because Mega Flare is a piercing attack. So, as long as he hits us with it, it doesn't matter if we've reflected or not, he's gonna hit us with it. So the strategy here is, well, batter him until he dies. The library did actually mention another strategy you could use, but that one is technically impossible at the moment. And the reason being is, well, kinda spoiler-ish. So I'm not gonna mention it. Either way, the strategy from here on out is basically slow him down. You won't be able to hit him with normal spells, but you really should be hitting him with Leviathan instead. Make sure to attack as much as you possibly can, and hopefully Fusoya is able to do something in this battle, because once he's out of stuff to do, and that was dumb, because once he's out of stuff to do, he's useless. So I guess, basically I believe my strategy here, if I remember correctly, was to have Cecil focus 3 times, and then Berserk him. So he is getting that extra Berserk damage on top of his already raised power. So, we are going to haste Fusoya. No real reason, honestly, because he's not going to be useful anyway. But hey, we might as well haste him. I mean, I have the double cast, so I might as well. Rydia is, of course, a far better character to haste because she's got summons, and summons can pierce reflect, so yeah, that's why I'm going with that. Because I slowed him, and therefore he's going to throw up a reflect, which I could, I guess, dispel that, but I don't particularly want to. Now, I forget, I don't think it's possible to defend... Oh shoot, is it possible to defend against Flare in this version? Yeah, I think... At the very least, I know apparently you can survive Mega Flare a little better than you can in earlier versions of the game. I would still rather not be hit by it though, so let's try to prevent that. And let us put our plan into motion. Berserk Cecil. And now, I believe Berserking also means that he won't kick and he'll just do a normal attack. meaning there's no chance he'll miss. 7,000 damage, very nice. Oh, and I didn't go over his stats, did I? 45,001 HP, 67 strength, 135 defense, and of course he has Reflected Mega Flare. But you knew that by this point, didn't you? Right, so from this point onwards, we pretty much have to pray for victory, make sure everybody is nice and MP'd up, bless this horrible mess, and yeah, other than having Rydia use Leviathan and having Rosa use Prey, that's pretty much all we can do for the battle. So let's see if we can survive a Mega Flare. And hopefully we'll have done enough damage to make sure that after that, he goes down. Tidal Wave. Now you might be asking, why don't you just skip the summon animations? Because I don't want to. That's probably a bad attitude, but I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. Right, so I guess we'll try Meteor, because oh! Yeah, that's right, I didn't get hit by his Mega Flare. So, your mileage may vary on whether that version of the fight is easier or more difficult than previous versions. I'm gonna say more difficult since you actually have to try, rather than you just set up, reflect, and then Bahamut will kill himself. And if you think that's still how you have to kill him, well, you are in for a rude awakening if you try that trick here, buddy. So yeah, I did not know how much Mega Flare did, and quite frankly, I'm glad, because it probably would have killed me. I also forget if Meteor pierces barriers or not. I do think it pierces Reflect, so that would have been a good idea, I hope. And if it wasn't, well, Meteor would have been reflected back, and I would have died. So we got the Bahamut summon, which is the best summon in the game. However, it does cost 99 MP to cast, so while it is powerful, it will consume a lot of your MP. So do be wary when you use it. That being said, of course, as a summon, it does pierce most barriers, so it's a pretty good summon overall, I have to say. And thankfully we can teleport out of here, and we don't have to go through 3 behemoths again. So, that's it for Lair of the Father. We now have the God of the Eidolons on our side, meaning, next time on Final Fantasy IV, I believe we have what it takes to go back to Earth and stop whatever it is Golbez was doing. I don't know, something about a giant? Fusoya told us about it earlier, but I forgot because I don't listen to him often.